right to grow.
You never saw this coming. To kill rising. Kill rising.
Good hunting.
I think we're just gonna get started here. So today's stream is gonna be a little different. I'm gonna start off talking about more serious stuff, I guess. You know, still related to Guild Wars 2, obviously, but yeah, the first thing maybe is not that serious, I guess. It's gonna be, turn this off. So if you're not aware, the current season right now, the 3v3 deathmatch, normally it's best of, well, you have to win 3 times, so like technically best of 5 or 6 or whatever it is. And I think it was bugged the first night that it launched. So on Tuesday or yeah, I believe it was Tuesday. And instead of needing 3 wins to finish the match, you only needed 1. So every single match was done after a single win, which honestly was fine. I was doing, I got all my 10 pre like placement matches done within, you know, I don't know, an hour or 2. Like, it was actually pretty nice to be able to do that. And so I guess it was a bug or something. And if we're just looking at the forums here, they switched it back to normal 3v3, where it's best of 5, I guess. And you can see on this is on the Guild Wars 2 forums, there's quite a few people asking for it to come back, to get the one win thing back. And nobody can really tell, because even today, like, nobody can really tell if it was a bug or, like, apparently rewards were messed up too. But yeah, fights should be quick, easy, and painless. 3 rounds is boring and drawn out. I completely agree with that. I completed 50 games before this change. Yeah, I mean, you could really blast through the season when it was just 1 game. And apparently today there was some people who reported that you could get, they were only doing 1 match, so they could get 1 win. And then I guess it switched back to needing 3 wins again. So I have no idea what's going on with this. 3v3 best of 1 is the dumbest thing since Visions of Eternity. So, you know, there's some mixed opinions. A total meme comp can catch people off guard, and there's no chance for comeback because you only get 1 chance. I mean, yeah. It is what it is, right? Can we improve this 3v3 deathmatch back to 1 game or best 2 out of 3? Yeah, I mean, I think having to win 3 times really does drag the matches on. And the problem with that is, like, if you're just solo queuing and you get stuck with a, you know, bad team or like bad comp, you know, you're stuck with them. And oftentimes, after you lose the first match, or if you lose 2 matches, you might get a teammate that AFKs or just doesn't want to keep playing or whatever. I mean, it's not always the case, but it sucks when it does happen. see, regular season titles and 3v3 mini season. Yeah, so this is the bug that I was talking about. Regular titles such as God of the Arena, Prince of the Arena are in the mini season, or they were. I believe it was fixed. Yeah, so fixed an issue that caused the spring PvP season had the incorrect leaderboard rewards. So that was adjusted. We'll get to this one a little bit, don't worry. Yeah, the amount of effort the devs show when communicating about PvP changes is staggeringly low. I did have a hard time finding any other information other than just like what was posted here by players. Bring back one round 3v3. So there it is. That's what it looked like. You only needed one round to get the win, which is pretty awesome actually. I enjoyed this. It was fun. It's back to best of 5 since 5 minutes ago, so that was 2 hours ago. I played at 3:30 p.m. Central. First match was best of 5. Second match was best of 1. That was 3 hours ago. 2 hours ago, back to best of 3 or best of 5. Yeah, I mean, it is normally 3 wins. This person is correct. It takes 3 rounds to see if the noobs learn to complain less on the forums about the classes and learn to fight in groups or individually. That's pretty much it for that, I guess. The next thing was going to be, so I have a video here, and this is from Sulfur. Let me just make sure the sound is working for this.
Push ranked. All of the game updates have meant that we've had so many builds come in and out of the meta in just this one season. It feels distant at this point, but remember, this is the same PvP season where Antiquary was a side note terrorist. It's wild to see just how much the meta has shifted over the course of just the past few months. In years prior, ArenaNet has historically taken way too long to address outlying builds. So I
don't know if you caught that, but yeah, this season has been pretty good for balance changes coming out pretty regularly, even beyond like they do their normal whatever 3 or 4 months like big pass on like balance updates, but they have been doing more frequent like mini patches that are addressing like stuff that it's like really a big problem in PvP, and bringing down some of the Visions of Eternity specs and some other stuff that was overperforming. And like this season that just ended on Tuesday, I gotta say, has been like the ups and downs and like specs that have kind of been really dominant and then kind of fallen behind a little bit, like not to irrelevancy, but just not as strong as they were at the beginning of the season. And then you have other kind of like outliers that came up, and like Hollowsmith was not really that much of a presence, and then it was in multiple teams, and I think in the winning team for the monthly automated tournament in the last finals there. I mean, Luminary is still a pest, and Evoker and stuff is still a pest, and those specs are still pretty dominant, but both of them did get nerfed, so they are doing something. It's not like they're ignoring it, like, you know, when like Scourge or Harbinger was like totally dominant for like months and months on end. So it has gotten better, I think.
It's exciting to see them take a firmer hand here, And as a result, I'm somewhat surprised that this season has felt like it's had lower engagement than usual. More active balancing is something that players have been asking for forever. When talking about this rank season, I have to discuss matchmaking manipulation and, unfortunately, cheating. On a positive note, I'm really happy that ArenaNet has implemented a change to disallow players outside of a 200 rating range from queuing together. For anyone not familiar,
Just one sec here. Okay, sorry about that. Let's continue.
this change was aimed at players who had previously duo queue, one on their main ranking account, and the other on a very low-ranked Smurf account, piloted by another top player.
So yeah, that change, I forget when it went live, but yeah, basically just stopped people who had a huge ranking disparity from being able to play together, and boosting people essentially. I mean, anybody that's played like competitive games like this, I mean, knows what like a Smurf account is, right? It's like rampant in League of Legends and all the like the big games. And the objective is basically the same, right? You're just trying to get really high rank on an alt account, and the other person who is with you, who has the higher rank, is typically getting like easier wins, so it's a way for them to get boosted. Yeah.
This effectively allowed two top players to duo queue together while bypassing the matchmaking system's attempts to make fair matches.
Yeah,
I know that there have been some people innocently caught in the crossfire of this change, but I do believe that it is an improvement to the overall health of the game. However, that's not the only thing that the devs need to address. I know I'm not the first, and I definitely won't be the last to complain about the integrity of the leaderboard, but this season I really got the worst of it firsthand. Here, you can see that this character is using map hacks to teleport around erratically, obviously outside of the bounds of what's possible. And this clip is really frustrating, right? I obviously would have killed them with my sword port above.
So this player, Faye, is a known cheater. As far as I know, they have not been banned. They always play Mesmer, and what they're doing is they're doing like map hacks, which you'll see in a sec here. But my guild, everyone that's in it knows about it. It's something that's like talked about openly. So I'm not trying to like whatever name and shame or anything like that. This is, the evidence is right here, and you'll see in a sec.
But anyway, I chased them down because bottom buff is coming up. If you watch the minimap carefully here, you can see that when pressured, they're 2% health there. They port to the ledge above the tranquility buff. In a normal game where someone isn't cheating, I would have secured a kill here. I would have gotten a 3 cap for my team, and we're looking at a completely different outcome for the...
Yeah, so look, they disappeared, and then they came back basically to reset the fight, right? So that they could come back and fight at full strength again, because they were losing that one-on-one.
Game in general. Instead, because they're using map hacks, they are able to stall bottom buff just long enough for someone else to then plus me after this clip.
And they still lost the fight anyway.
Or here, a different game, but I downed their character with conditions, and both of us are looking around confused because we obviously know that we've downed this player. However, when watching this back, if you watch the minimap, their downed body actually appears at the far node rather than the home node where we were fighting. There, they're able to receive a res and then outnumber and win the 1v1 that was taking place at far. Obviously, a side node duelist that can port to any node at will is pretty strong. And if you watch the minimap again, you can see that after they clean up that fight, they actually port back to contest our home node once again. So egregious, so unbelievable. Now, when I get enough games to finish the season and really try, I'm able to consistently place within the top 100 of the leaderboard. I've been really working on improving my play and trying to push to a new record this season. This player's actions, who at the time of this recording is in the top 10, cost me about 40 rating within the last week of ranked, and pretty much single-handedly knocked me out of top 25 contention this season. A ranking system with integrity would permanently ban their account, and would restore the rating of all players involved in these matches. I'm not the only person affected. I know multiple other players who have submitted footage like this to support, and I genuinely hope that ArenaNet takes swift action against their account. But unfortunately for me, the damage is done. This was an extremely demoralizing and disheartening end to an otherwise fun season, and it just makes it so hard to care about trying in ranked in the future. Simply put, this shit is just lame. ArenaNet needs to actually moderate their game, and they've needed to do so for almost 15 years now. It's just frankly unacceptable. On a personal note, this also marks the second season in a row where I've lost an unrecoverable amount of rating in the final week of games, so I clearly need to figure out a better strategy for locking in my rank. We also have to talk about the Elementalist downstate bug.
Okay, so that's kind of the only, the main focus of that video that I want to point out. Yeah, it was just the cheating. And as you can see, it's still going on. And, you know, I just want to say that, like, when, you know, ArenaNet had the moderation has a reputation for being strict in some aspects, certainly for policing, you know, player behavior, things that are said, things that are, you know, things that content creators do. And, you know, I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but people getting banned for certain things and saying certain things. But then you have like high level play like this that really affects the reputation of the game, and players are being recorded cheating out in the open at the very, like, you know, like you saw in the video, the top 10 players are abusing, you know, all kinds of things to get where they are, and nothing is being done about it. There's a lot of reasons why PvP in Guild Wars 2 is not as popular as it could be. But this really hurts the reputation of the game, and makes people like Sulfur here said, it's you know, maybe play it casually a little bit, but if you're trying to push rank and like go for like the really high ranks, and this is the kind of thing you encounter, it is extremely demoralizing, right? So next we'll move on to Captain Crapface. He made a video yesterday or earlier today, I believe it was.
Large Guild Wars 2 streamer, you've likely already heard this quote.
You know what, Popo? I am a little mad, yeah. I am a little bit mad because I really like PvP in this game. And to be honest, the scene is utterly defiled, okay? Like, there's just no other way of putting it.
What do you think our beloved weakening coffee jar might be referring to as the scene is utterly defiled? Let's listen a little more.
Yeah, I am a little bit mad. I'm sad, yeah. I'm sad that, you know, running something like Motor is not realistic, right? I'm sad that that time has gone and passed. And I'm sad that it ultimately is down not only to ArenaNet kind of abandoning PvP, it's also down to the community being as fucking terrible as it is.
Community is terrible. Even fucking terrible. Oh, here goes your partner program, I guess. But besides, what could he mean by that? Thankfully, in a stellar display of comedic poetry, in the very same stream, less than 2 hours later, we saw exactly what he meant.
All right, let's go. Finals! What's the prize for? It's for Master of the Arena this weekend. Okay, then. So let's see what we...
Did you?
So just in case you don't know, Master of the Arena is a, this is on the European servers. This is a tournament that Teapot runs himself and collects gold from the community, and that's a significant like pot. I think the one for this one was like 70,000. Not all to the number one player. I'm pretty sure it was like distributed among all the winners and like people that placed in whatever top 3 or whatever it was. But it's like a big deal. It's like a big like player run event, and you'll see what happens in a second here.
You notice.
How did he do that?
As you probably know, at the start of every PvP match and in 2v2 or 3v3 at the start of every round, Necromancer's life force is fully depleted. And even though some skills let him generate a little life force out of thin air, never a full bar, and never like this.
Yeah, that's a little suspicious.
This is a cheater. In a finals of monthly variety tournament, cheating to his heart's content. And what's even better is that not only his teammate is on it as well, but Teapot, who caught it live on air, and his chat didn't even notice. But what's even actually happening here? I'll allow myself borrowing the explanation from Satan GW2, whom I got wind of this entire situation from. Link to his channel is in the description. Essentially, due to some spaghetti coding, you can still right-click the pet skill to open skill select window while mid-match and change pets this way, even in the middle of a real match-made game. You can't do that in combat, but you can do it anywhere, anytime, out of combat, throughout the entire match. For some reason, this change of pet contributes to Necromancer getting Shroud. It works for any Necro, not just Ritualist, by the way.
So just in case you didn't catch that, that's when you're in a group with a Necromancer and an Elementalist, if the Evoker is swapping their pets, you as the Necromancer will gain full resource bar just from doing that for whatever reason. Some bizarre interaction allows you to do that, and so that's what these players who were in this tournament were doing, enabling them to have full resource the Necromancer for their Shroud at the beginning of every match.
From this we can easily deduce that both players in this clip knowingly abuse a bug to gain a tangible combat advantage, and just by watching the stream we can see that they do so repeatedly every round of this match, which are finals of a monthly variety tournament, by the way, live streamed by one of the biggest GW2 creators on the scene.
I mean, that's like, how fucking stupid can you be to be cheating? And when it's being streamed live and there's, I don't know how many people were watching this stream, like maybe sometimes it's hundreds, sometimes it's like maybe a bit more, but like just so brazen, and like they know that they're not going to get caught, I guess, or there's going to be no repercussions.
This is the integrity of Guild Wars 2 PvP as we know it, and why it's a one massive unfunny joke. And all perpetuated by the PvP elite that rarely suffers the consequences of blatantly breaking the terms of service and stares down at the noobs and golds playing legitimately.
It is indeed over.
Moreover, this isn't just a one-time issue. Satan over here has a decent library of easily confirmable proofs of bug abusing, exploits, and real money trading in Guild Wars 2's PvP scene. I'll spare you the details. If you're interested, Satan's channel is pinned in the description, everything can be found there. But right now, right here, it is time for me to potentially make some enemies. I already have many beefs with the PvP cheating elites, so I don't worry nor care about their opinion about me. But all the content creators who love Guild Wars 2 and who love PvP, especially ones with reach and stature, especially ones who believe in the future of the franchise, could make as little as help to shine a spotlight at this problem. Because if the same people who actively cheat or are enabling cheaters remain unpunished and are allowed to keep festering in the community, Not only will Guild Wars 2 be worse for it, but so will anything and releases in the future get automatically infested with all the same parasites that disrespect ArenaNet by breaking their terms of service, by RMTing exclusive tournament rewards, and that disrespect Guild Wars 2's content.
So just to be clear, the last monthly automated tournament in North America, there was a member of the top team in the finals that won the tournament who was on somebody else's account, and they were doing it to sell the gizmo, the top prize for winning that, and it was basically just a known thing and basically being treated like a joke. That person has not been banned. They just said that they were playing on another account. So this stuff is still going on. It's a known thing. It's, at every level of play, at every sort of tournament, this thing is going on. So this is not like a conspiracy. It's not, people trying to make things up to badmouth other people. This is very real and, pretty rampant.
Creators, like Teapot himself, by RMTing exclusive rewards from community tournament he hosted in the past, which is also featured in Satan's channel with all the receipts needed. I can talk shit for a century, and will never reach the level of sheer disrespect and disdain needed towards somebody to RMT rewards from an event hosted by them personally. It's fucking disgusting what it is. And that's why I think those people who cheat and RMT shouldn't be accepted in larger Guild Wars 2 community, and why I encourage creators, big and small, to take vocal stance against cheating in Guild Wars 2. It will of course not replace intervention from the developers, but it's all we can do. And it might at least discourage people from cheating and encourage ANET to take appropriate action. And now I rest my case and pass the baton to whoever feels concerned. Now you decide what to do with it.
Yeah, this was one of the reasons that I wanted to do this and just point some things out. Next, we're just going to quickly look at Satan's video. It's pretty short.
This is a fresh old account called Barachil. Rank.
It's just detailing the actual tournament manipulation in the 3v3s.
One
This
god
is
of
like
the
an
arena
older
from
match.
last season, cheating to win a game in this 3v3 season. It's the same account that showed up on the leaderboard on the last second of the season with a ridiculous win rate. And this is his accomplice Kill, whom they bug abusive. As you can see, the Necro starts the game with full shroud. But ArenaNet actually did a good job for once and fixed your logging, so you can't bug abuse to get the full shroud on Necro. So how do they do it? When you play Walker, you get to choose a companion, there's 4 of them, and you lock one in for the rest of the game. And once the game starts, the selection window closes, you're not able to swap it. But if you mouse over and right click on the pet, the game still lets you swap it. It works in 5v5, in ranked, you can still do it mid-game, even 10 minutes in. And blatantly abusing it is obviously cheating. This is somehow coded as a creature dying, and Necro receives Shroud when you change companion. After it is locked in and game starts, it's obvious cheating. This is constantly abused to give Necro full Shroud at starts. This player on his other accounts, Sewer Prince 5634, has abused this bug to win a supposedly competitive tournament, Duo of Destiny, the 2v2 monthly tournament 3 months ago, and likely will do the same in a week if this is not fixed. Now this player is terrorizing 3v3 arenas by playing bunker comp and bug abusing this shroud, so there is no good target against them. This is your god of PvP rank 1. And I would urge ArenaNet to investigate Barachil 518 for weird activity in the last season and blatantly abusing game-breaking mechanics on both of his accounts. This is another god of the arena that ends up as a blatant cheater. The PvP scene is an absolute joke yet again. And by the way, this player is supposed to be permabanned. He's circumventing the ban to be able to play the game. He lost his previous account Zeolit, all his gizmos and titles, and what is he doing now to win them back? Cheating.
Yeah, so there you have it. That one's pretty short, but he even knows, because that Satan guy is, really does his research and homework on this. He knows who these people are, what their accounts were before they got banned, and and because they were in the top level, like that French team, the Worms, they're in the top like EU tournaments for everything. So, you know, PvP is like a pretty small community. It's kind of hard to hide when you're doing this kind of stuff at a high level. Like everybody knows who everyone else is, and people talk. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a video game, and you know, these people are just doing this kind of like brazenly. So it's kind of obvious, and I really think that you know, ArenaNet should be doing, you know, should be more active. Like, just to throw this out there, I mean, there are ArenaNet moderators and people from the moderation team who, you know, go into people's Twitch streams and things like that to see, like, you know, keep an eye on what they're saying. People have been banned for stuff that they've said on stream and things like that. So I think there's no reason that they can't have at least one person from ArenaNet, you know, just kind of lurking during like these big tournaments, like the monthly tournaments, or even like the community event tournaments that, you know, Teapot is doing, just to keep an eye out and see, like, you know, hey, catch these people red-handed, like while they're cheating, and just ban them, like ban them in the middle of a fucking tournament if you have to, like make an example of them, because this shit is just like, it's just not acceptable. But here, so as of, it wasn't 12 minutes ago, I think it was like a couple hours ago now, but that bug that you just saw with Evoker Familiars being granted Life Force, within an hour or two of Crabface posting that video, this has been fixed apparently, so that's good. At least they've done something. So moving on to the next thing. Okay, this was just the 1v3s, account sharing. This is the old. Yeah, you can't do that, obviously. Yeah, 3v3s, changing back from best of 5 to best of 1. We already talked about that. There's just a number of threads on the forums talking about this. And here we have, yeah, somebody actually posted this yesterday, the video we just watched. Satan's permabanned player cheats to win God of the Arena and Duo of Destiny. So that's all I have for like the cheating stuff. I hate to start the stream on a bit of a downer, but there's just been like multiple videos and like stuff going on. And it like Sulfur said in his video, it's really unfortunate because this season was actually like pretty good for balance. Like, you know, other than Visions of Eternity build still being very dominant, you know, they have been rolling out like adjustments and nerfs on a steady like cadence, so we don't have to wait for like that big patch to see some changes. So that part has been a bit better, but yeah, like when you have people like using teleport hacks and shit like that at the highest level, and using exploits in tournaments and everything, and doing account sharing for the monthly tournaments, it fucking sucks. Like, yeah, can you imagine like if this stuff, like just comparing it to World of Warcraft, like the second Blizzard caught wind of stuff like this happening in years past, these people would have had their accounts banned. If they ever tried to register again, they'd be banned, and it'd be like more outspoken. Whereas for some reason, I think that Guild Wars 2, there's like, if you're in that like clique of the top level players, it's just something where they're like, you know what, we're just going to do it anyway, and they don't kind of like speak out against each other, and it's just accepted kind of thing, or they're just okay with doing it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it is frustrating. It'd be nice to see that like these people get banned, you know. We don't need the people that are at the top there aren't relevant to this game's success or not. You know, those top 10 players, they can be replaced by people that are lower ranked than that. There's nothing about this game that is dependent on like the high ranked players in PvP scene. There's no reason to kind of shield them from moderation or anything like that. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully they do something and they do something quick, because there's multiple people, you know, speaking out about this and making videos and stuff. And, you know, PvP is the main focus of my channel. I mean, I'm not the best. I'm not the best player. I'm not like a, excuse me, high level player. I can actually close this. I'm not that high level of a player, but I I I'm friends with plenty of people. Like I'm in Crap Faces guild, and I'm in a guild with Sulfur there, and on, you know, North America, and it sucks to, you know, to see your whatever buddies like deal with this crap on a regular basis, and like they're just, you know, not having a good time playing the game that they love, that they spend, you know, most of the time playing video games, playing this game. So anyway, that's my my cheating rant. That was a good solid 40 minutes of talking about cheating. I'm gonna take a quick break, and then after that, we're gonna do something a little more fun. I was gonna make a video on this, but I think I'm just gonna do it on stream, and I'm just gonna go through some fashion stuff for if you want to look like guts, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. We are back. So for this part of the stream, we are going to look at the fashion pieces that you need if you want to have a cool looking Guts cosplay. I've had multiple people ask about this. So I just figured I'll do it on the stream. So the first piece you'll need, if you want to do the hood, it's not necessary, right? You can just have it like this. This is a Blackline Trading Company item. It's the Artisan Zara's hood. But there are some other hoods you can use. Let's see which one I've got. This one? Yeah, I mean, this one's not as nice, but yeah, this one kind of is the best. If you don't have this one, I'd probably just disable it. Shoulders, these are the Ebon Pauldrons. So these are from the Eye of the North missions or something. They're pretty easy to get. So you can get these in game. You don't have to buy them from the cash shop or anything. But if you don't have those yet, and you're looking for a substitute, you can get these. These are the Council Guard Pauldrons. I believe that's from the Ascalon dungeons. So there's the dungeon event going on right now. So those are pretty easy to get. The Ascalon Tector Pauldrons. So, oh, sorry, Council, that's from a different dungeon. But again, you can get both of these during this event right now pretty easily. And yeah, it's like, won't cost you any gold. It's just the dungeon tokens. Same with this. This is from the Coda dungeons. I think it's called like Wave something. Burden of Coda. Basically, we're just looking for something simple and like plain. Not too much like these can work, but there's a lot of like ornamentation on it, so not really my favorite. If you're on like a new account, you can just use like really simple stuff like the plate scale pauldrons. These you can just pick up while leveling. Worn chain pauldrons will work. Splint pauldrons can work. Let's see. Protectors, not really. It's too like paladin vibes. Grasping Dead. Yeah. I don't like the asymmetrical ones, so for me that's not it's not gonna work. Dark Templar could work if you like the little leather kind of like Roman skirt thing hanging off of it. But these I think are the best because with the Ebon Pauldrons, it has like the wrap. Want some more better lighting. Nope. There we go. Yeah, this piece of cloth wrapped around your shoulders, that is from the Ebon shoulder, so goes really well with having a cape on. Why is this like this? Shadow Abyss. Okay, never mind. And the chest piece, I have Brawn of Coda. There's a few options you can use here, but basically you want something with no sleeves. So there's not a lot of options for that. I believe the next best option is the Heritage armor. Where is it? Heritage armor, hello. But Brawn of Coda is also from Dungeons, so pretty easy to get. There we go. Militia armor can work. Where is it? Primeval plate, no. Studded plate, no. Here it is. Heritage Warplate. So this is from the Hall of Monuments rewards from Guild Wars 1. So if you're playing Guild Wars 1 and you're working towards doing your Hall of Monuments, you can get this armor set, which it's not the fanciest looking, right? It's pretty plain, but I used this for quite a while and I like it. So that's a good option. The gloves are the martial artist hand wraps. So these are from Cantha, from End of Dragons. I think the only thing you have to do, it's from like, you get currency from a heart vendor and then you can just buy them. It's very cheap. Doesn't require, you just do like some of the daily quests and that's pretty much it. Rift Hunter. This is from Secrets of the Obscure, I believe. And that was pretty easy to get. I think if the reward tracks, you can get it from this, from the, where is it? Yeah, you can get it from the Secrets of the Obscure reward track, I believe. So you don't actually have to play through Secrets of the Obscure if you don't want to. But some alternatives are the Heritage set. That's not Heritage, that's Studded Plate. I mean, you could use that as well, but not my personal preference. Yeah, Heritage. Nice, simple plate legs with a belt. I think the Rift ones. Before Secrets of the Obscure came out, that's what I used, was the Heritage legs. And for the legs, Paws of Coda is, I think, one of the best looking, like, simple plate design with like, it has like a leather piece hanging off the back. Yeah, I really like those. But right now I am using Swaggering boots. So these are from the Blackline Trading Company. I think these are actually on sale right now. Another decent one is the classic leather boots. These are a new item. They look okay, but kind of like the bulky Swaggering boots. So yeah, that's it for the armor. Oh, I forgot the cape. Cape you're gonna have to buy. Blackline Trading Company for the Battle Lord's cape. So this one has kind of like, I don't know why it keeps turning gold in there. But anyway. Shadow Abyss. Yeah, that's from the Blackline Company. This is from, I like this one too. I actually like this one better. That's what I'm using right now. The Vagabond's cape is from Blackline Chests. So it's RNG, but if you have enough statuettes from the pity system, you can just buy it from a vendor using those. Probably one of the most versatile cloaks in the game. Or you can use Artisan Zara's cape, which matches your this hood perfectly. And it's just a nice plain one. Again, super versatile. You can use it for tons of all your different alts. But again, these are all from you have to buy with gems. And then the centerpiece, the sword, is the Colossal Greatsword. Again, this is from the Blackline Trading Company. I think it's on there right now. There's literally nothing else that looks like this in the game. Some options, if you just don't want to spend any money, would be, I'd say, the Darksteel Greatsword. Base game weapon is still pretty nice. It has like a bit of more practical design to it. Or the Mithril Greatsword, if you like that kind of color. Bellblade is from Hall of Monuments. So if you have Guild Wars 1 and you're playing through that, you can use it. You use Twilight, right? If you like the nice shiny particle effect weapons. Kimswarden is pretty cheap. It's a nice, cool greatsword design. Or the Crichton Greatsword. Or a Highlander Greatsword. There's a few different skins with this model. Let's see what else. The Reaper Greatsword for Necromancer Elite specs. You could use this as well. Nice option. Yeah, there's a few. Officer Remnant is a decent one. This one's a little bit more expensive, I think. Have to buy that with gold. Pearl shell, yeah. Not a fan of that one personally. And that's pretty much it. If you want to look like Guts, that's how you do it. I think that is that the Doliac calf, I think. See, look, PvP is not toxic. Look how adorable this is. Get this friggin' mech out of the way. Yeah, hopefully they do get the cheating handled. I think there's a lot of people pissed off about it right now that are being pretty vocal. So I think they really need to do something. Yeah, I don't know if you heard the first part of the stream there, but I mean, just have one person lurking during the tournaments. Maybe even just the monthly tournaments, doesn't have to be the weekly, but it's pretty brazen what the people that are cheating are doing right now. So yeah, like cheating while it's being live streamed by people commenting and spectating on it is pretty nuts. There's that freaking, don't want that guy. There he is. Oh. Are the leaderboards screwed up? Yeah, looks like there's nothing here. They were screwed up before because their rewards were screwed up too, so and apparently I was talking earlier in the stream about how the you needed 3 wins, and then people were saying today that it went back to 1 win for a little bit and then it was back to 3 wins, so I don't know. This season is just fucked apparently. Like I don't know what the hell's going on. Don't make any plans if you're trying to push rank. That's the only advice I could give. Is it's going to be probably pretty scuffed. I don't know if they're trying something new or yeah, no idea. It's messed up. And I think what does it end on? I think there were the 10th. Yeah, it's done in a few days anyway. So who knows what's going to happen. I have no idea. Like it's still counting my matches, so I mean if you keep playing, I'm assuming it'll like figure itself out, hopefully. I think I'm gonna play one more match and then probably switch over to playing some of the World of Warcraft expansion midnight. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this season. I kind of was hoping that it would stay to the 1-win rounds. I could have blasted through the reward tracked here. I never am able to finish this. Like I just don't. For 1 week, I just don't have the time to bang this out for all these rewards. I just don't play enough. Because this is like 20 games, and I don't even have Jaspered finished yet. So I'd probably need to play, let's just say like 40, I don't know, 60. Like last season, like a regular season, I played maybe like 150 50 games like total. So for me to do 60 in 1 week is just not happening. Or even 2 out of 3. Right now it's we have to win 3. So it's like best of 5. And I don't know, for 3v3 it's just brutal. I know that is the normal way they've always done it. It's just I just don't find it fun. Usually I kind of skip these seasons. I'm just kind of messing around right now because I'm bored. I was saying earlier in the stream that like this season is actually, or like the last regular season was actually pretty good as far as like balance changes and stuff. And like the Visions of Eternity specs are still overperforming, but it's they've been doing a lot of like updates pretty frequently to like try and bring those specs, the overperforming ones, like to be a bit more balanced. But this 3v3 stuff, I hate it. I'd rather do push than this, honestly. Even that I think is more fun, even though those matches can take a while to finish as well. Like I'm used to, like when I used to play World of Warcraft arenas back in the day, it's best of 3, right? You only need 2 wins. Like for a 3v3 arena, that's just normal. Five-minute queue times aren't really helping the situation either. But after this, I'm gonna play some World of Warcraft and just do some quests or something. Level up. So if you want to check around, if you want to stick around and check out Midnight, I'll probably be playing that for a while. Just kind of doing some chill questing. I'm only a level like 82. Oh my god, a Blade Sworn on my team? No way. Oh, and fighting another Spellbreaker, huh? Oh, I'd say Core Guardian should probably be the target. This is not my preferred map. Oh, he's using that friggin' mace build. Yeah, I'm fucked. Yeah, this 3v3 Bladesworn is not, it's not it, unfortunately. I tried playing a couple matches as Bladesworn for my placements and it did not go well. Especially on a map like this, which is so like closed off, and elevation is definitely not Bladesworn's friend. I know what the play here is. And he rezzed. Because of course he did. Because the fucking elementalist is still bugged. Would I recommend Warrior or Amalgam? I mean, I would recommend either of them if you enjoy playing it. Amalgam is very strong right now. But Paragon is still pretty good too. It just depends on what you enjoy. Like Amalgam Engineer has Amalgam and Holosmith. They're both good right now. No, I'm playing Spellbreaker. So Paragon's focused a little bit more on support. Spellbreaker is more on like CC and sorry, I'm just really trying to get the, our team is pretty much cooked here. Spellbreaker is more focused on like CC and boon removal. Okay, that's going to be it for tonight for PvP, but I'm going to end the stream just briefly, and then I'll be back on play a bit of WoW for a while.